Hello, everyone. Welcome to the show. And oh my God, I forgot my iPhone. So I will be right back for you. Just give me a few seconds. That's stupid. Let's do it. Okay, I'm back. I am almost back. I am almost back, guys. I am almost back. Gee. I don't know what happened, why that is the case, but I just forgot my iPhone. And that happens sometimes. Sorry about that, because I needed, of course, to see if you guys are online so that I can talk to you. And I really hope that you are doing quite well. Let me check. Right. Peter Petrus Musicando. Yes, Diamond, great. And I see my mom and René is are also in the show. So welcome everyone, welcome to the show. Great to see you guys. It's been quite a while since we last spoke in like a real, condo feel to it, and but you can see it looks like the same than you were previously had, but it is still a little bit different because here you see a truss, and that is something which is totally different. And it's a little bit of a different feel to it, but we're still in a condo and we're still in a studio. It's a very small studio, and today, what a day! What a day! What a day! I just arrived like 15 minutes ago. The problem was that I work at a local radio station, and in a few weeks I will be going away. I will be going on a holiday, and because of that, I need to pre-record some radio shows, and of course that means that you want to do that upfront, upfront. So I was like, okay, between 4:30 and 5:30 I will pre-record the show, and between 6 and 7, which is the standard time that I go live, I will go live, and then at 7 o'clock I go home. And I have plenty of time to eat some food, etc. But now today that is totally not done. I haven't eaten anything at this moment, but that is the way it is. I think. Well, anyways, I'm here, and I will be talking to you about physical media and the reason why I think it's important. You might not be fully, you don't agree with me or something, and I really would like to know what you think and why you think you don't agree, because that is interesting to know. Anyways, let's see if we have what we have over here. We see, whoa, we have a lot of people joining. My mom is in, René is in. Welcome, René. Guten Tag, wie geht's mit Ihnen? Floyd is in. Welcome. Paul Dixon is also in. Welcome. And Floyd says, looking great. This set really came together. Yes, it did. It totally did. And I'm very, very happy with what it looks like. And it's going to be, yeah, I mean, really looking forward to something which we will be talking about also during the show. So, and I see that we only have about 14 seconds to go before we can really start the show. So, again, it's like crazy today, but it's cool to see you. Anyways, let me stop this music and say, welcome everyone, welcome to the show, welcome to Petrus Musicando. My name is Petra Verbruggen, and we will be talking about all kinds of different things music related in this show, Petrus Musicando. The only thing is, I just announced a week ago that this will be the before last episode of Petrus Musicando. So if you're just new, welcome, but don't worry about it. I will be going live with another show, Tech Condo, and during the show I will be talking about that also. But before I would delve into that, I would really like to welcome my Patreons as well, because of these guys, I can actually perform this show, and you see these names below. And what they did is they actually went to Petrus Music Condo on Patreon.com, and they provided me a pledge, me a $5 or $10 pledge per month, and that makes it possible to really create the show for you guys. And I would love to also do that for the next show, Taekwondo. Well, because we're talking about Taekwondo, let's talk about it anyway at this moment. So the coming 2 weeks, we will still do Petrus Musicando. I've been doing that for roughly a year now. I started a year ago in July, so that is, well, I'm round tripping on that one, but I really started in early September. So okay, so this month and next month are not really part of that. So let's say 10 months I've been doing Petrus Musicano, and it was a great show to do. I mean, totally loved it. The only problem is it is a music condo, so I would like to, let you listen to music, etc. And that is simply not possible. It's not feasible because of copyright problems that we might occur. Now, I am I mean, as you can see, I actually buy stuff. So it's not that I don't like to buy music. I actually love to do that. But if I broadcast it, you run into some issues, even though it's like a 10-second thing. And I just don't want to get into problems because of that. So that's one of the reasons why I decided to stop with Petrus Musicando. But the other thing is that I like to talk about technology. And today we're not going to talk about technology, but next week I have something that I want to talk to you about, and that is about technology. And, it is something that I really enjoy, and I will be starting the show officially on September 15th with the in the studio. But before that, I will be going live hopefully every week. Not sure that because I am also abroad, but let me just say I will try to go live every week because I really would love to, talk about technology with you guys. Hence, Tech Condo. Let me see if there are some things that I. Okay, well, no problem. Then I can really start the show. So let's do that. Let's start the show and let's talk about physical media. I don't know if you heard it, but my cat Kermit is right there, and he is meow meow meow. He's like he doesn't like that I don't have time for him, but hey, that's the way it is. So welcome everyone, welcome to the show, and so today, like I said, we are going to talk about physical media and the importance of physical media. So let's go one step back. Why am I talking about it? Well, um, I have we as a community have a playlist on Spotify. So we also use downloaded music or streaming music, and I also have like iTunes on my Apple MacBook and my iPhone, etc. So yes, I do. Like to download music, but for me, it is really about having like a single or a high rotation song, but where I don't necessarily like a full album of that artist, but I do like that song. So previously, when I was like 15, 16 years old, I actually went to the store and I bought a full CD just for one track. I did that a few times, and sometimes I'm in luck that I like multiple songs of of a album, but sometimes it's only that track. And to pay um, quite some money for one track, that is something that I don't want to do anymore. So in that case, I love downloaded music. However, the problem with downloaded music is, well, okay, you have a cover that is correct, but it's still digital. It's not physical, and it also, for me, looking back to when I went to a record store, we had two record stores here in Venray, where I have my studio as well. Um, at that time, we don't have any at this moment anymore, which, sorry to say, sucks. But back then, I actually went every Friday to the record store to listen to music. Really go to the counter and with like a set of five CDs, and then really listen to it. I am from the CD era because that was in '86. I bought my first CD, which is Top Gun, the soundtrack. Yes, cool, cool, cool. Um, but I also own, well, I also used to own some singles and vinyl because my father bought records back then. But I really only bought CDs for the most time, and that has been changed. But one of the reasons why I really like, having something physical is that even though it's like, for instance, for a DVD, you have a cover and okay, granted, you also have that on the digital, but you don't have this one. And if you open it up, you don't have this nice booklet. There's a booklet in here with some text in there with people that have been working their butt off to make this. Sorry, sometimes lyrics. In this case, not. But in this case, it has a full, a chronicle story about the concert, how the concert came to be, etc., and some nice, like pictures that provide gives you a certain feeling of being there, being at that venue at that time, which I really really like. Um, and you can also do some other stuff because, for instance, well, I'm not talking about not only music but also, for instance, DVDs. Actually, you can also have really cool packaging. So, for instance, Battlestar Galactica, awesome. It's 3D. It is really cool. So this is the full Battlestar Galactica of 1977, 3 DVDs, and it feels something different. It is really something cool. So I mean, and that is something that I really miss with digital formats. Moving a little bit further, I mean, older formats like vinyl. This is, for instance, the Foo Fighters. This album is only available via vinyl and digital. I got both. And this one is, of course, also available on CD and digital download, etc., etc. But looking at how this looks, I mean, this is Coldplay. I mean, look at this. I mean, you can open this up, and there is this beautiful backdrop here. You've got a nice kaleidoscope look to it, and another one as well. I mean, this is something that you typically don't have, and if you have just a digital download, if you have this, for instance, look at this. Look at how beautiful this is. Somebody really paid attention to making this a beautiful uh, artwork, and I really like that. And that's the reason why, for me, this is very important. Oh yeah, and by the way, if you have the vinyl these days, you can also download it because, well, downloading is okay. It's not that I don't like downloading, but I really love the artwork that comes around. So I'm really thinking about that. And let's see what you have here. Um, you have to share Petra Kitty. Yeah, indeed. Kitty, you have to share Petra. Indeed. He is now. Should I say it? Well, I don't care. He's now licking his butt. Ew. Hey, that's a cat. That is really the way that they are. Anyways, so and then looking further, I mean, more covers and things. I mean, you had cassettes. This is not a cassette, but this is something else. This is a what they call a mini disc. which is this small thing. Uh, Very small, but it's still a full CD. And, it is actually very well built. And unfortunately, it's not really being used anymore. But again, you actually have a booklet in there. And that is really something that I miss. Although this is not a big booklet, as you can see. That's all there is. But again, I think it's important, and I actually think that looking at the future, it becomes more and more important because um, digital, of course, is something that everybody can use, and I do that too. But I like art as well, and I mean, look at this. I mean, I try to make this show look good. Why shouldn't I have a an album that looks good, and why shouldn't I have a DVD that looks good, or a Blu-ray, or something else? So, um, okay, it might be that if you have a digital version, that you have something like, okay, I make the menu look great, and I do see that. I do see that if you have, for instance, iTunes, that if you buy a movie, they actually try to make it look better nowadays. So that I think is great, but you know, I don't know. I'm sure that that you have some remarks on that. So let me have a look at it. Um, Renee says I have some games in steel case editions with artwork or special collection edition. Yeah, so that's also that is something that I just forgot to say, but indeed, you I mean, looking at, for instance, U2 currently has a tour, and they're playing today in Amsterdam, here in the Netherlands. The Joshua Tree tour, which is like an album that's 30 years old, and they revisited that album. They have several different versions of it, and if you're a fan, I mean, I'm a fan of Simple Minds, as you know. Look at this, Simple Minds fan. So I typically buy all the versions of a single album because I am a fan and I want to have it. I want to own it. And the same thing goes if you like a game. I can definitely relate to that. That you want to have the steel case of that because it's physical. You see in one. You see which button to press because you have an artwork that displays it for you, and you don't have to go into the help function within the game to see that. That makes it easier, and it adds to your feelings around it, right? Um, Floyd says, "This is your art collection. I totally get it. I love having a textile experience, but it's hard for a digital generation to understand the need of something. I had to explain radio station to her when she asked to skip a song when we were listening to the radio station. They just don't get it." Okay, all right. So that is another thing that I want to talk to you about. Okay, so this is not planned at all. So Floyd, I work for a radio station. I just said that in the pre-show, right? So one of the things that I think will always remain is a radio station. It might be a little bit of a different form than you have now, but it will remain something that will be here. Why? Because if you are in a car, you're not able to watch something. You have to listen to it. And to be quite honest, if you have your own record collection in your car, it might become a little bit dull. So you want to hear new music, or you want to hear news, or you want to hear people interviewing other people because it is interesting. And there is where radio comes in. Of course, there's also podcasting. There's also other stuff. And granted, FM radio, which we do right now here in the Netherlands, that will be gone. I mean, we're also going to the digital format DAB plus. That's what they have here in Europe. But it's only rolled out, I think, in the Scandinavian countries at this moment. So it's not really rolled out here. We do have it, but with rolled out, I really mean that FM is shut down or going DAB plus. Um, but it still remains radio. And so I think that will remain. I think that TV might also remain, but it will be in a very slimmed down version of it. Maybe more in a themed way of things, because indeed, I mean, look at what we're doing today is streaming. That is the future, and well, we're living it. And I think that this will become even more and bigger in the future. So I totally I get why your daughter thinks that she can skip this song because she's used to it. I mean, if you go back to a record to a record, you actually had to really go through the whole record, or you have to pick up the needle and then search the groove where you between the songs, and then put it down, and that's kind of hard. But it's you have to really do some work for it. And with CD, it's just skip, and with a song on your iPhone or your Android device, it's also just play next, and it's boom, you have it. But yeah, we are still of the the old for well the old people that really like to listen to. We're not old people, but you know what I mean. The older generation that we really like to listen to a album, not a song, but an album, a full album from A to Z. That is what the whole feeling. I mean, if you for instance look at the album of Muse, Drones, the whole album is about drones, military, and that kind of thing. It's a theme album. You totally miss that if you only buy the one or two songs. You totally miss on that. So that is yeah, that is something that is really cool. And by the way, I also see that Joris Wilskens already joined us as well. Joris, welcome to Petrus Musicano. Really cool of you to drop in, and it's always fun to see new people. I think for me, this is about the information that I have, and I want to go back to what I said earlier in the show. Petrus Musicano, this is the before last episode of Petrus Musicano. Next week, um, I want you to go and show you the radio station that we have here in Venray, to show you what kind of gear that we use to go into the ether or in the air, and to well, how we can play songs, and how we can combine them and make them sound really good. So that I think that's a fitting end of Petrus Musicano, because it all started with that for me. I mean, I have been at the radio station for 23 years. My show Alternative Pop is now almost 20 years old, and next year it's going to be 20 years old, and I find that a fitting end of the show. So I will pre-record some stuff for you on that at the station, and then combine it with some Q&A maybe here in the studio, and then I will be off for 4 or 5 weeks, and then on the 15th of September, I will be back with Taekwondo. And because I like you so much, I want to show you what Taekwondo looks like, because it's a little bit different than you're used to. So let me just show it very quickly how the new leader looks like, and there will also be a new website, but more on that in the coming weeks. Maybe I don't know when it's gonna go live, but there will be a version of it live around 15th of September. But this is what it looks like. I don't know why he does it, but it's always during the leader, even though he doesn't hear it because the leader's only in my ear. He seems to meow and he wants to get some attention. Unfortunately, I'm not able to reach out to him. Well, maybe I am. Wait a second. Let me try to reach out to him because I want you guys to see him. There you go. Big cat on the. There you go. That's him. This is Kermit. Look at the people at home. There you look at that. Look at that. No, he doesn't like that. Okay. I'll just drop him back. Oh, there you go. All right, that was this before last episode of Petrus Music Condo. I hope to see you next week for the last one um, with some cool behind the scenes at a radio station and of course some Q&A, and I will also give you a little bit more information on what the ideas are for the show. Let me see if there are still some questions or I see Floyd says we are still in luck. I am definitely in luck. I am really old fashioned if it comes to music, but if it comes to technology, I try not to be old fashioned, even though I still like to look at, for instance, old radios and old gear. I really like it. As a matter of fact, my parents, my mom and dad, they have a really cool KitchenAid setup, which I adore. It has a great 60s feel to it. And yeah, that's just a side note. I see Jordan has come in. Welcome, Jordan. Very nice of you to drop in, Jordan. If you're a little bit late, but if you go back and watch the start of the show, you will like it. I'm sure of that. And Jordan is, by the way, one of the patrons. I'll just show it one more time. These guys are all patrons, and Jordan is one of them, and they are supporting the show. And you can also support Tech Condo. And before I forget it, you have 2 weeks to become a patron for $5 to be part of this ticker here below. After that, you will be part of the end of the show. However, not during the show, unless you pay $10 a month, which I really appreciate each and every one. And every price is great. $1, $5, $10. But yeah, that is I want to make it exclusive for those guys. So that's the reason. And these guys that you see now are grandfathered in because they just go from Petrus Music Condo all the way to Tech Condo. Kermit the Diva, indeed. And he just left the studio. Anyways, well, thank you very much for being here, and I'll see you next week. Bye.